And it's all something. There I am. I'm moving. Okay. Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I'm Echo Fang Grey Wolf. Again, I am waiting for Instagram to kick in. We are definitely having technical difficulties with Instagram. And I can't go live on TikTok. So I don't know what the hell the problem is with Instagram. Still checking the connection. I take that off. Clear. Let's see. Okay, so let's make this my prep show while I'm waiting for Instagram. I'm going to do an Instagram is now live. Alright, this is not my prep show then. Instagram, welcome. I promised you guys that I would make it up to you, so I am going to do bound fighting. I'm going to do some weapons demonstrations for you on Instagram and here on Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Alright, so if you're on Instagram, it is spelled exactly how it sounds, Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I would tell you the links in the bio, but I don't know if that's true. So I'm not going to tell you that. So, I haven't done it in a while. As always, small disclaimer, do not attempt. I am professionally trained at this shit. And there are things that, like I say, and every time I do bound fighting, there are do's and don'ts. And we're going to go over that before we do anything else. We're going to go over the do's and don'ts, the wills and won'ts. And for your safety, I highly recommend that you not try this without having some kind of professional training. Alright? And sometimes even the people training you may not have had this training, so you might be a guinea pig. You don't want to be a guinea pig. Alright? So I'm still working on trying to get a training partner, aka a punching bag. And so I can actually show y'all how this shit's supposed to work and how it will work in the movies versus work in real life. So we're going to do behind the back first because it's the most difficult. Alright? We're going to do behind the back first. And we're going to do this long before we do the weapons demonstration. So if you stick around for that and my batteries don't die, then good. Alright. So initially I was going to film over there. But wherever I set everything up, the dog shot a deuce right in front of the chair where the camera was supposed to be. So to clean that up, and now we're over here. Alright. So, first and foremost, if you're going to do any martial arts, please have somebody who actually knows martial arts, maybe somebody with a little bit of fighting experience, teach you martial arts. Don't always just jump into something without knowing something, okay? Because you can get hurt, you can get worse than hurt. Alright, so for this, I got my trusty belt that I've made perfectly knotted so it can fit my hands. Because working with the belt's a whole lot safer than working with handcuffs because they'll cut you up. So, first thing you got to understand about having your hands bound is that this is not the position you ever want to be in. Rather they're back here or up here, it's not the position you want to be in. But in the event that it happens, hello there, brother. In the event that it happens, you're going to understand that if I can do it with my crippled ass, it's more than likely you can do it too. Desperate time calls for desperate measures, which means if you're in the situation, you're pretty much in desperate times. So we're going to put this behind me back, and I'm going to teach you the best kick options that you are going to have. I'm going to teach you why they are the best kick options, and the reason why they are the best kick options because they're easier, they're simple, and you got a better chance of escaping intact. There will probably be some running, right? Hopefully I won't trip over any of these obstacles in my way. So we're going to go behind the back first. Understand that if your life is so messed up that someone actually ties you up and you have to fight, understand that it can be done. Understand that it's not impossible, highly improbable, but not impossible. So, as I squeeze this wedgie out of my ass, I'm going to teach you this because of the simple fact that it can be done better in the movies because it's a movie, but in real life it can be done also. Alright? So first thing you got to understand, you got to know your range of motion with your kicks. You also got to understand that everything can go wrong before it can go right. If you don't know that, you just learned it. In any kind of fighting situation, expect things to go wrong before they go right, but also know that you can get lucky. You can get damn lucky. So, If the guy's coming to this side, you want to do a side kick. Boom! When you put your foot down, you want to run in that direction unless that is the only way out. That means you may have to engage, which I hope you do not. But from this side kick, boom, if he goes down, you run past him. He should be in enough pain that he can't grab you. But if he does grab you, you got to pray, and you probably want to lay back another kick because he'll still be on the ground. So that will give you the opportunity to lay back a kick, depending on which leg he also grabs. If he grabs this way and pulls, you want to go with it, and you want to drop your leg onto whatever he's pulling you with. Do not try to, while he's doing this, do not try to do a switch kick because he can still pull you, and then if you try to switch, it takes away your ability to stand on one foot, and you will probably go face first to the ground. So you don't want to do that. You want to use the leg that he's already pulling you on, and you want to go with it, and you want to turn towards the pulling, and you want to drop your knee into whatever body part he's pulling. So if he's pulling you with his hand, you want to drop your knee into his hand. You want to aim for his thumb, either thumb, because his hand's got to be open, so you want to aim for his thumb because that's one of your grip fingers. You want to aim for that thumb so you can fuck him up. Now let's get to crescent kicks. So first, know where you are. That's the most important thing besides that side kick that I just did. The most important thing is to know where you are, to know where your escape route is. Because that is going to be the deciding factor on if you are going to get the fuck out of there in one piece or not. If you don't know your escape route, you may have to make one. For all medicinal purposes, we're not going with that. We're going with you already know your escape route. Because that's going to be easier. Alright? Now, you have two versions of crescent kicks. You have outside to inside and inside to outside. If you want to put your opponent away from the direction in which you want to escape, 9 times out of 10 you want to use the inside to outside in that direction. In other words, if he's over there, you want to kick him with this leg and put him over that way because your exit's over there. So it would be boom, and now he's over there. Your leg went down, you go this way, and you're out. Now, if your exit is still over there and you want to get him over there, outside to inside, because there's going to be a little bit more power behind it, boom! Now you shift your hips, and you're this way. The reason why you're doing these 3 kicks that I just did, the side kick and those 3 kicks, is because those are like power kicks. Alright? Now let's say you can't do those crescent kicks because you have limited range of motion. So as long as you can get your leg waist high, you can do a front kick. So your primary target is bladder, belly, chest, or sternum. Alright? You do not want to go for a facial kick because you can probably see that coming. You probably would actually be expecting it, especially if he's a martial artist. So, and the reason why I left the groin area out is because he's probably going to expect that and he'll probably block it. So, if he's coming right at you frontward, now there's the downside to this. Momentum is not going to be in your favor, and it's a good chance that you're going to land on your back. So you want to land on your back, you want to land flat, and put your arms all the way past your ass so that you land flat on your back. That way you can roll to one side or the other and get up and get out. But if this is how you kick, boom! So when he's running at you, he's going to have the momentum. You have options, but for right now, your first option is this front kick. Do not do the jumping front kick, boom, because there's a good chance that he can catch your foot and put you on your ass. The body slam from that momentum will probably knock the wind out of you and probably put your ass down for the count, depending on how tough you are. If your head hits the concrete or the ground, you might actually get knocked out. So you don't want to do that because you're already in the air and you're adding to the momentum that he can use to fuck your shit up. So you don't want to do that. So you just want to do a straight front kick, boom, and your target, again, belly, bladder, bladder's here, belly's here, sternum. You don't want to go any higher than the sternum unless you have no choice. But it also depends on your range of motion. Now, if you can get a chin kick in there, I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but I don't suggest it. But you definitely don't want to jump off the ground. You want at least 1 foot on the ground when your hands are tied at all times. You don't want to do anything fancy. So, another scenario, again, other leg, outside to inside crescent kick. So he's coming, boom! Again, your exit's over here, so you're just going to shift your weight and you're going to go. Because blocking this way is kind of hard. So you have to be ready, because it's going to be kind of difficult to protect your face from an attack. You can block a kick this way, possibly a punch, but don't bet on it. You can definitely block a kick. So while we're there and your hands are tied, my face is itching. But if he's throwing a foot sweep, depending on the type of foot sweep, if he's doing a low-angled foot sweep that's going to target your shins, then your main thing is to just get one foot so he can go past. He goes past, boom, you kick him. He doesn't go past, you got problems. So let's say he throws a mid-leg kick, so it's going to be targeting your thigh or your knee. Your best bet is to stand firm and block it with your leg. So he's throwing a kick like this, more like a round kick, so you can block it, boom, that way, or you can bat it away that way, but you'll be able to block it. You want to be able to block it. If you can't block it, then when he throws the kick, a back step will do, because that way he gets past you. He gets past you, boom, push him off, and then run. Do not engage, run. Now I'm going to tell you, the reason why I tell you to run when your hands are behind you, because a good run is better than a bad stand. He comes at you, he missed, boom, you deliver, you're out. That's going to work for you a hell of a lot better than he comes at you, he misses, boom, boom. Your hands are still tied behind your back. Engaging an opponent with your hands tied behind your back is really, really bad for you. Because if you miss and he doesn't miss, well, say hi to Davy Jones's locker, because that might be where you wind up. Now, the thing is, blocks like this, they are very hard to accomplish. Understand that shit. They are very hard to accomplish. You will probably jam a finger or get your hand broken. Straight up. So you really don't want to do too many blocks like this. You probably want to block more like this or like this. If you have to add these, you want to keep your hands open. Or if you have to keep them closed, then you want to keep them closed to where they won't like get broken. So it's like boom, boom. These are blocks. They are not effective blocks. Let me repeat that. These are blocks. They are not effective blocks. Because a person's kicking you, they're not kicking you to play. They're kicking to hurt you. That being said, you want to be ready. Now, the last kick, if you have to, because I don't recommend it, but if you have to, the axe kick. Now, you've seen the crescent kick, you've seen the side kick, and now you're going to see the axe kick. The reason why I don't recommend the axe kick, because your hands are tied behind your back, and they can block the axe kick a lot better, which means if they catch it, they can push you down, and then they're going to fuck your shit up. Alright, so this is the axe kick. Alright? Now, let's say you don't have that kind of range either. So now you have to worry about other shit. So before I change over to putting my hands in front, I am going to show you sidestep and knee. Alright? So guys coming at you, you're going to sidestep and you're going to throw your knee. For those who can roll their hip, if you've taken kickboxing, you know exactly what knee to throw. So you'll roll, boom. Now, that will push him off. Will it hurt him? Maybe, maybe not. But it also depends on who the hell you're fighting. Same thing on the other side. He's coming, boom, you sidestep, boom, you roll your knee. This knee and hip doesn't work like this knee and hip because this bitch is replaced. And even 6 years in, this knee has lost a lot of its mobility. So, sidestep, boom. Now, your target for that sidestep and knee is all of this. All of that. Do not try to aim for the face. Do not try to aim for the groin. You want that center mass. You want that sternum or those abs so that you can bend them over. He gets bent over on your knee, just move your leg. Don't try to do anything fancy because he's already there. He's hunched over. Move your leg. Now, if you want to be slick and you knee him and then you move, boom, you can do that. Do I recommend it? Fuck no. You need him in the gut. You took the wind out of him. Get the hell out of Dodge. The thing about knowing when to fight and how to fight is very important. Your hands are tied. You just need him in the gut. Boom. Remove your leg and remove yourself from the situation. Because if you don't, the situation could turn really bad for you really fucking quickly because your hands are tied. Alright? So you got those 3 kicks plus that knee. Now the problem is, in a fight, in a real, honest-to-God fight. It's your skills versus someone else's skills. It's your experience versus someone else's experience. And if you've never really been in a fight, congratulations. This is not the kind of fight you want to be in because your fucking hands are tied. It's not a fun experience. Even training like this as a child was not a fun fucking experience. But I can do it. I know that if my hands are tied, I know I can still fight. Do I recommend that shit to everybody? Fuck no. Everybody can't fight. Some people can. And even good fighters can get fucked up. I understand that shit. Because that's the reality of fighting. If I told you that you do this and you hit somebody and they're not going to feel pain, I'd be lying to you. If I tell you you do this and they feel a little pain, but if they don't go down, they're going to make you feel a lot of pain, that's the God honest truth. Because if I sidestep and I need the shit out of you and you go over and I don't leave because my hands are tied, I'm not going to try to like do some slick karate chop shit. No, fuck that shit. I just need the shit out of you. You killed over. Yeah, that would be a good option. The better option, because you're bent over, boom, I can kick you in the face and pray that shit knocks you out and not piss you off. Or, I need you, I can get out. Your job is to get out. Your job is not to be Bruce Lee and try to boom, boom. No, fuck that shit. You're not Bruce Lee. You're not a Power Ranger. You need him in the face? Fine. But you need him in the gut. It's going to be kind of hard to knee somebody in the face when they're way taller than you. That's why I said your target is the bladder and the gut. Sternum, whatever. Wherever you breathe at. Your liver, your lungs, and shit like that. And if you've got an odd angled knee, then you want to hit them in the ribs. You want to do something that's going to slow them down. So if you don't do that, you're going to get fucked. So you don't want to do that. So again, the best thing to do after you knee them, boom! When you go down, remove your knee, and they fall, you get the fuck out. Do not try to be a hero. Get the fuck out. It's not that damn difficult. There's no shame. You just need a dude in the gut. He came at you, you sidestepped, boom, you drove that knee into him. He went over. It's done. Get out. You don't have to prove nothing. You just fucking need the shit out of him. Now need the fuck out of Dodge. Get out. You can run with your hands tied. It's not that fucking difficult. It really isn't. Why do you not do Flying Dragon? That would be this. But that's a flying sidekick. It's the same damn thing, only your feet are off the ground. Because when your feet are off the ground, you are exceptionally vulnerable to getting body slammed. You don't want to get body slammed with your hands tied behind your back. That shit's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a fucking lot. I'm not going to teach you something that you can't use. Now we're going to go to the fun part. Having your hands tied in front of you. This part is easier and you have more options. Understand that. Having more options is better than having less options. Okay? And the reason why I tell you this is because, alright, now you can block. Now you can actually engage. Because this is not just your hindrance, it is also your weapon, if taught properly. Alright? For those who do Wing Chun, you know this. You're going to use that. But you also can block, 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 and block. And if you can block everything that's coming at you, you got a fighting chance. Now, if your hands are tied in front and you have multiple opponents, you still got a fighting chance versus this shit and multiple opponents. Multiple opponents with your hands behind you, I don't want to even attempt to be on that level where I have to do that shit. Because then I got to do crazy shit. Like jumping front kicks, which I told you not to do. You know, guy over here, guy over there. Boom! Boom! You know, what if both of those guys catch my feet? I'm not Van Damme. And they're going to make a wish. So fuck that shit. If you have multiple opponents and your hands are behind you, boom! Boom! You want to keep it straight. Those are side kicks. What's a front kick? Boom, boom. Here's your side. Same thing on the other leg. Boom, boom. Or this way. Boom, boom. Now the problem, your hands are tied behind your back. They both went down. Now you need to run. Now back to the front. The reason why the front is safer. God throws a punch. Block. Strike. Strike. Now you have two opponents that you have engaged with but you have the ability to engage because your hands are in front. The damn problem is you have to teach your hands how to work as a cohesive unit. Vroom, 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 vroom. Strike, 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 versus not being able to do that shit at all. This shit's behind you. Here's your best shot. Boom, boom. Now get the fuck out of dodge, because your hands are behind you. I'm going to try from the other side. Boom, boom. Now you still got your hands behind you, so you need to get out of dodge. But this shit here makes it a little bit easier. Guys coming at you from this side. Boom. You see the difference in the kicks? This doesn't throw my balance off. Now watch carefully. This throws my balance off. So the guy's coming at me, boom. Now see, my balance is still off. You probably need trained eyes to see that. But if you didn't see it, you will. So we'll go from the left. Then my left leg is worse than my right leg, and I have a wedgie. So here's the balance. Boom. Alright? Now, back in front. Boom. I can do more because my hands are in a more controlled facility versus not. Now see, I'm trying not to fall during this demonstration. Guys over there, boom. You know, this puts my balance off by about 90%. Because if I'm clumsy as fuck, then I'm in deep shit. No drunken master this way. However, lots of drunken master this way. Crane, understand? Mantis, tiger, dragon. They can still be done with the ropes in front. Crane, snake, mantis, not happening. I can't get the full momentum or the form for that to work out. So now I have problems that I have to deal with on that. You know, it's a different ball game when someone's throwing a punch and you can block versus someone throwing a punch and you need to evade. Alright? Because I can't block. My hands are too low. I can't get my hand up here without hurting my other arm. You don't want to hurt yourself while you're fighting. So here, that's my range of motion right there. Now for you contortionists, because I know you're out there, who can throw your arms all the way over there or get all the way down and step through, do that. I can't do that. This hip replacement has taken away all of my mobility. That shit's not going to happen. Alright? Straight up and down, that shit's not going to happen. However, this right here, I got a fighting chance and I have this as my weapon. Okay? So I can block and I can strike. When I strike with my hands, I'm going straight up into their throat. So, boom! I hit them in the throat, straight like that. And as doing so, I can also use my knee into their belly, and their sternum, all that shit. And I can kick them in the bladder. Boom! Boom! So when they come over, when I kick them here and they bend over, I got this. Boom! I can just bring it right up. And if I'm really acrobatic and gymnastic-y, I can do a double dragon and flip over their shoulder and be behind them while they're this way. So my hands will be back over there, my back's on their back, and I'll just flip them over. That was called fantasy bullshit because I'm not strong enough to do that. But one of you strong, burly motherfuckers might be able to pull that shit off. I'm not going to do that shit. If I hit you in the throat, boom. I'm going to make sure after I hit you in the throat, if you're falling back, I'm going to let you fall. But in the event that I hit you in the throat and you fall over, I'm going to lock my hands around your head. I'm going to push down with my hands and I'm going to push up with my wrists. So it'll look like this. As I'm pushing up, I'm pulling down so that I'm pushing like, okay, see how my hands are here? Close enough. So I'm pushing my hands down and I'm pushing my wrists up. So it's like a double whammy like that. So that stops a lot of the shit from going any further. Because if a person can't breathe, they can't hurt you. But we'll go over your basic blocks. High left, medium left with knee, low left. High right, medium right with knee, low right. So you've covered your whole circle right here. And in covering your circle, you have protected yourself very fucking well. But with your hands tied, you have a problem. But it's worse with your hands tied behind your back versus being in front of you. So, here's the do's. Guy's coming at you. You want to do an outside to inside crescent kick and you want to escape. He's coming. Boom! Now you shift your hips and you go this way. With the exception of that being your only way. If that being your only way, you don't want to use that kick. You want to use it from the other side, which is the same kick, just a different angle. So he's coming at you. Boom! Now you're back in this direction. That's your only way out. That's the way you go. So knowing where you are is probably the most important part of the fight. That way you'll understand how things work. So that's the only way. He's coming at you. Boom! You set him here, but he didn't go all the way down. Boom! Boom! Now that you've engaged him, you still have this, and you still have a way out. So, if you've engaged him, you're going to need to finish it. And then you're going to need to get the fuck out of Dodge. Your hands are also tied. Understand, with your hands being bound, you are at the mercy of these ropes. More than you are at the mercy of your opponent. You are also at the mercy of fear. Fear is going to be the thing that makes you hesitate. It's going to be the thing that makes you delay. That, what if this shit doesn't work? What if this shit does work? Those are going to be the things that you're going to be obligated. Especially when it's like this. When your hands are like this, so as you guys can see it from the back, that didn't come out the way it was supposed to sound. So, it didn't sound the way it was supposed to. So, watching me from the back, the guy's coming at me this direction, and my direction of getting out is that way. So, boom! Now you see me here. My hands are still tied behind my back. The opponent got kicked into that direction. I dazed him. I probably didn't hurt him. So I'm going in this direction. And that's pretty much what you're going to do if it's behind your back. When that shit's in front of you, so as you can see from the back side, I can block. Boom! Boom! There's a lot of things I can do because I can block. Boom! 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 Now, in doing that, you have to understand that I'm switching between karate and kung fu. Okay? So, for karate, I need him in the gut. And I still did karate here with that. Alright? For kung fu, I need him and I would use the same side, same elbow. Okay? Also for kempo, I need him. Boom! Boom! And now I switch to karate by switching, because I elbowed him with this hand, and then I hit him with this hand. Okay, so now I done switch from Kung Fu to Karate. One more time. Kung Fu. Boom! 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 That's Karate. See how I switched it? Now, for Karate. Boom! Other elbow. Opposite elbow. Opposite leg. Because that's how momentum works with Karate. So, again, I need him. Boom! Boom! Now, I elbowed him with the opposite because that's going to do the power with that torque. Kung Fu relies on directness. Karate relies on strength. Anybody want to contest that? Feel free. I don't give a shit. I'm going to tell you the truth. Other people are not. So again, we're going to do karate one more time so you get it straight. I need him. This is the opposite elbow. My weapon fell. Boom! And why did I use the opposite elbow? Boom, because of the momentum. All the power is going to come in the torque of the waist and the dropping of the elbow. The elbow, I'm targeting the back of his neck because I just need him, so he's bent over. I'm targeting the back of his neck because it's probably going to be the closest target depending on how hinched over he is. If he's only like over this much, I have to hit him in the back of the neck. If he's way over here, I'm going to hit him in the back of the spine. Alright, because I'm going to stop him. I'm going to shut him down real fast. Where if I did Kung Fu, it'll be the same side. Boom! Boom! Then I switch to Karate so that I can get the extra oomph in. But if I don't have time for that, then it's just going to be a simple boom, boom. And I'm going to get the fuck out of Dodge because my hands are tied. Or if I want to be nasty, I got to elbow him after same knee, boom, elbow. And now I'm going to wrap my wrap around his neck and I'm going to reel him back over. And I'm going to put him in a chokehold by putting my knee in his back and this will be in his neck. I probably shouldn't be teaching that, but there it is. If a person can't breathe, they can't hurt you. If a person can't stand, they can still fuck you up. Okay? So that being said, now you understand. Now you can do the same thing on the other side. Especially since the world is predominantly right-handed. So sidestep, boom, boom, that's Kung Fu. And now for karate. Boom, boom. Now remember, the only difference between those two is that I use torque for the elbow for karate. I use nothing but the elbow for Kung Fu. It was a direct blow for blow. Alright? Kung Fu is simple and it's one move after the other consistency. Kempo is pretty much the same. Karate, you add a little bit of more torque and you do a little bit more different types of shit. Now, let me make a small disclaimer on that. Depending on the person who taught you karate or Kung Fu. That way everybody won't be coming at me, well, I didn't learn that. Well, you weren't taught the same way I was taught. I also was taught in the late 70s, early 80s, late 90s. So, I'm also 48. So understand, if I'm teaching you something, it's because I was taught differently than what these cookie cutter schools are teaching you today. Alright? So again, Kung Fu. I sidestep, boom, I knee him, same elbow, same leg. Karate. Same elbow, different elbow. Understand? So karate, I misspoke that. This leg, opposite elbow is what I was trying to say. So you're coming at me and I only know karate. I know about power versus precision. So power for karate, boom, I need the shit out of him. He's bent over. I elbow him, I use karate. Now Kung Fu was direct, that's why that would be that elbow. But karate would be about power, so I'm going to jab that shit in there. And my hands are still bound. So for the sake of all that's holy, I have to remember that my hands are bound. Now like I said, if you haven't been taught this technique, it is not something that you can learn overnight. I've been taught this shit since I was 12 years old. And there's a groundhog over there somewhere. And a bunch of people playing in the park. So forgive the background noise. Now the difference maker is, alright, with this, I got options. Option number one is to never leave that fucking ground unless it's absolutely necessary. So you're not going to be doing these. Tornado kicks? Boom. No, you're not going to do that. Not with your hands tied. That's a very bad idea. Jumping, spinning back kicks? No, you're not going to do that. As my nose is starting to run, thank God snot didn't sling everywhere. But you're not going to do that because it is not an option. It is a bad idea, and you're going to pay for it. If you miss, you are going to get totally fucked up, and you will have nobody to blame but yourself. So you don't want that. It's so much easier to blow your nose when your hand's tied in front of you. So we're going to do a little bit more, and then we're going to go to weapons demonstrations. This is me making sure my nose is clean. I also got to set up some lights so that you guys can see me. Let me wave to you. Let me attempt to wave to you. And attempt to wave to you. Why is this shit not working? Okay. I cannot wave to you. God damn it. Your name starts with an M though. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Fuck. Okay, fuck it. Anyway. So, you can do this. Boom. And then strike. That would be your Kung Fu. Alright? Now for your karate. Boom. Boom. Alright? So, the minor differences is, with Kung Fu, you also want to get to the outside of your opponent. But when your hands are tied, all of that shit goes out the window. Understand, the rules of engagement are forever changing. Period. No matter what style you use, Kung Fu, karate, ninjutsu, jujitsu, boxing, when your hands are bound, the whole academic of rules go out the window. Because you're going to have to find a way to fight with your hands tied. Pure and simple. You're going to have to find a way to fight with your hands tied. For example, this is Sabatu. It is a Japanese practice sword. I can do that with my hands tied in front of me. Not so much. Okay? This is not going to be easy. Plus this shit collapses against my wrist. So no. This is a very bad idea. Like, in general. So you don't want to do that. But if your hands are tied in front of you, you know, you can still get the fight in. Yeah, you can still do that. Your hands tied behind you. Having a weapon is just like having a death sentence because you're not going to be able to use it. Understand? So that's not doing you any good. Same thing with a comma. Here's a don't. And now you know why. You're going to fight with a comma. You want to keep that blade away from you at all times. You don't want to whirl it like that because there's a successful chance that you are going to cut yourself or drop it. So block, block, boom, boom. Block, block. And if you're doing Kimpo, then you know it's a block and a strike. So block, strike, block, and strike. So block, strike, block, strike. Those are your things. This, Hollywood. Don't do that. If you're going to fight this way, just have the comma in your hand like this to begin with. Block, strike, block, strike. Which beats you trying to do this shit. You can't whirl it. 9 times out of 10, no matter what anybody tells you, whirling is for demonstrating only. That is for demonstration. You will not do that in combat. Boom, boom. This, no. This, yes. Block, strike, block, strike. Boom, strike, strike. Not this. Strike, boom. Hopefully I did that slow enough for the camera. So, you got to understand how these things work. Okay? And they don't work like they do in the fucking movies. When your hands are tied in real life, you are bound by physics. You might not like that shit, but you are bound by physics. So, you know, block, boom. It's a good sidekick. Now, again, if you're going against karate versus kung fu, for karate, when you block, you are going to strike. With kung fu, you're going to block and hopefully be on the outside, pull, boom. Now you can switch to kung fu and do, well, that was karate, excuse me. Now you can switch to karate and then hit. But 9 times out of 10 with kung fu, I'm going to get on the outside and I'm going to level you. And then I'm going to put my foot back down. Alright? Because once I level you, you're probably going to go down. But let's say I just heel you over. So I block, boom, boom. Understand? Let me show you the difference so that you guys can see. So I blocked, I kicked, and I used the same hand. Alright? For karate, I blocked, and then I struck with the opposite hand. Torque brings the power. Alright? Now, I'm going to end the YouTube, but keep the keep the Instagram going. And I'm going to do a weapons demonstration. I'm going to do these plastic rings that I bought from fucking Walmart. And I'm going to do